You hear me, son? 10 o'clock, you're inside. And don't you go listening to those voices out there past the fence.
Yes, sir.
When I first got down to Mound Bayou, Mississippi, it felt like stepping back in time. The house smelled like fried catfish and cornbread, and the air was thick with heat and dust. Grandpa was sitting at the table, serious as ever. Big hands folded, eyes sharp like he could see straight through me. He told me the rules before I could even unpack my bag. You don't open no doors after 10, and you don't step outside once that sun goes down. He said it plain, like he'd said it 100 times before. I just nodded, half listening, thinking he was being old school. But that's how it always was with Grandpa, firm, steady, and no room for talking back. He worked that land his whole life, out here in Mound Bayou, one of the first all-black towns in America, built from nothing by freedmen who wanted a place of their own. Folks around here took pride in that. I didn't get it back then. I was just mad I got sent here. I remember looking out that window, the cornfields stretching forever, the sky turning gold over the trees. I told myself I'd stick to the rules, keep my head down, and count the days till I could go home. But Mississippi had other plans. That night, the house was too quiet. You could hear every creak, every bug outside humming. Grandpa went to bed early, and I was just sitting there, staring at the clock. 10 o'clock came and went, that number he warned me about. I told myself rules were for kids. I needed some air. Truth is, I went outside to smoke. I wasn't quitting cold turkey just because I was in Mississippi. I stepped out on the back patio, leaned against the rail, and lit one up. The first drag hit smooth, but the air felt heavier out there, thick, like something was sitting on it. The cornfield swayed slow in the wind, and I remember thinking how quiet Mississippi nights really were. Too quiet. For a minute, it felt peaceful, the kind of peace I didn't know in the city. Then the crickets stopped. The air went dead still. That's when I heard it. A voice. Darius. My heart dropped. It sounded just like my pop's. I froze, my hand still holding the smoke halfway to my mouth. I looked around the yard, then laughed to myself like an idiot. Ain't no way, I said. Man, this must be that AK-47 acting up. I really thought maybe my stuff was laced or something. But then, the voice called my name again. I thought I was imagining it at first. The smoke, the quiet. Maybe I was tripping. But then I heard it again, clear, close, familiar. Darius, come here, son. It was my father's voice. Same calm tone he used to call me when I was little. But he'd been dead 6 years, shot when I was 10. My chest tightened, my stomach flipped, and the night air felt heavier, like it was pressing down on me. The sound, low and deliberate, rattling, like someone or something moving through the corner of the cornfield behind me. My heart skipped. I froze, trying to tell myself it was just a raccoon or the wind, but the sound didn't stop. Scratching, dragging, slow, patient, right in the shadows between the rows. The rattling kept coming, and every nerve in my body screamed, "Don't turn around." I hopped off the patio rail and took a step back toward the house, and noticed Grandpa quietly standing inside the doorway, just watching. No words, just eyes locked on the field, calm, steady, deadly serious. That look told me everything. Get inside. Don't test it. I froze, heart hammering. The voice called again, this time twisted, unnatural, like it was learning how to sound human. I swallowed hard, knowing it wasn't my dad. Grandpa's voice cut through the night. Grandpa. Darius. Get in the house. That ain't your father. Now move. I didn't hesitate. I bolted inside. Grandpa shut the door behind me, locked it, and I pressed my back against it, breath shaking. Outside, the scratching kept coming. The red Mississippi dust swirled under the door, and I could hear the wind through the corn whispering like 1,000 voices all at once. Grandpa stood there, calm as ever, watching. He didn't say much, just made sure I stayed put. That night, I realized some rules weren't meant to be broken, and some voices were never what they seemed. Once I was inside, Grandpa didn't waste a second. He slammed the kitchen door and grabbed a chair to push against it, then stacked a few heavy boxes along the frame. Dust from the floor swirled in the lamplight as he worked, each thud of wood against wood echoing in the quiet house. I was still shaking, staring at him when he spoke. "You see, Darius, what's out there ain't your daddy, not even close. That's a skinwalker. They can sound like the ones you miss most. They can even look like them if you ain't careful. But they ain't real. They only want one thing, to get you outside." I swallowed hard. My stomach flipped. A what?" I stammered. Grandpa shook his head. "Call it what you want. Trickster, shapeshifter, whatever. They walk at night. And around here, son, they get bold after 10. He stepped back, eyeing the cornfields visible through the kitchen window. The red dust outside stirred like smoke. "We're safe in here for now, but don't even think about opening that door." He glanced at me, serious as the Mississippi sun. "Understand?" I nodded, heart still hammering, knowing I'd just crossed into a world I didn't fully understand. We barely had time to catch our breath when it started. Scratching, claws dragging across the kitchen door, heavy, deliberate, testing the wood. And then it spoke. "Darius, come here, son." My father's voice. I froze, but it wasn't him. Not really. It was twisted, wrong, like some creature trying too hard to sound like my dad. The sound clawed at my chest, made my stomach flip, and I wanted to run, but I couldn't. Grandpa didn't flinch. He stepped up, shotgun in hand, aimed straight at the door. "Stay back, boy," he said, calm and steady. The scratching got louder, more frantic, and the voice called again, deeper and guttural now, still mimicking my father. Grandpa pulled the trigger. The blast echoed through the kitchen. Dust exploded from the frame, and the thing outside screamed, a horrible mix of growl and human sound that froze my blood. Red Mississippi dust swirled under the door from the blast. I pressed my back against the counter, wide-eyed, heart hammering. "That's what I'm talking about," Grandpa muttered, shoving another chair against the door. "They'll try again. They always do. But we ain't letting none of 'em in." I couldn't move. My mind raced. That night, I finally understood. Grandpa's rules weren't old-fashioned nonsense. They were the only thing keeping us alive. By the time the sun came up, the house was quiet again. The birds were the only sound. No scratching, no whispers, just morning. Grandpa and I sat out on the porch, both of us staring at the fields like we were waiting for the night to prove it was really gone. After a while, I stood up and went back to grab my book bag. I'd left it on the porch the night before, the same spot I'd been standing when everything started. It was still there, untouched. I picked it up slow, half expecting something to move in the corn, but nothing did. Grandpa sipped his coffee and looked at me. "Now you see why I got rules, boy," he said. I nodded, not saying a word. I finally understood. That summer, I stayed with him, worked the land, learned discipline, and figured out who I didn't want to be. By the time I went back home to St. Louis, I was different. Started doing better in school, stopped running with the wrong crowd. Grandpa didn't just set me straight. He saved me, and every now and then, when the night gets too quiet, I still think about that voice calling my name from the fields. But I don't look back. because I remember exactly what he told me. After 10, don't open the door.